In 1974, Jack and Janet Smurl moved into a modest duplex in West Pittston, Pennsylvania, hoping for a fresh start. But almost immediately, their dream home became a nightmare. At first, it was small things. Foul odors filling the house without explanation, strange knocking sounds in the dead of night. Then the disturbances escalated. Jack would wake up to find deep scratches on his body. Janet reported seeing dark, shadowy figures lurking in the corners. Their young daughters were terrified of an unseen force, pulling their blankets off as they slept. The air inside the house felt heavy, oppressive, like something ancient and malevolent was watching their every move. Then came the physical attacks. The entity was no longer content with scaring them. It wanted to harm them. Jack was reportedly thrown from his bed. Janet claimed to have been assaulted by an invisible force, and the walls of their home trembled with deafening bangs. The Smurls sought help from Ed and Lorraine Warren, famed demonologists, who identified the presence of a powerful demonic entity. Multiple exorcisms were performed, yet the attacks continued. The Warrens warned that the demon was intelligent, feeding off the family's fear and despair. Eventually, the Smurls moved, and the activity subsided. But to this day, the house remains infamous, a place where darkness once made its home. Deep in the rural countryside of Hinsdale, New York, sits an unassuming white farmhouse. But beneath its simple exterior lies something sinister, something that drove a family to the brink of terror in the 1970s. When the Dandy family moved in, they were immediately unsettled. There was a constant feeling of being watched, even when no one else was around. Then came the eerie sounds. Whispering voices carried on the wind, footsteps echoing through empty rooms. One night, they saw something that sent chills down their spines. A ghostly woman stood at the tree line, her face obscured by darkness. She didn't move, didn't blink, just watched. The next morning, they found something disturbing. Animal carcasses arranged in ritualistic patterns near the house. Who or what had left them? The haunting escalated. The family would hear chanting in the dead of night, furniture moved by unseen hands, and electrical appliances flickering on and off. Even priests who came to bless the house left disturbed, warning of a dark presence. A full exorcism was performed, but the house refused to be cleansed. Eventually, the family fled, leaving behind a home forever tainted by something evil. To this day, paranormal investigators still hear whispers and see shadowy figures lurking in the woods surrounding the property. The year was 1817. John Bell, a respected farmer in Adams, Tennessee, started noticing strange occurrences in his home. It began with faint scratching sounds coming from inside the walls, as if rats were gnawing their way through. But there were no rats. The disturbances grew worse. His children woke up screaming, their blankets yanked from their beds by unseen hands. The whispering started soon after, low, unintelligible voices echoing through the darkened hallways. Then the voice became clearer. It spoke. It laughed. It taunted them. The entity identified itself as Kate and claimed to have a vendetta against John Bell. It slapped his children, pulled their hair, and even conversed with visitors who came to witness the phenomenon. But John bore the brunt of the attacks. His throat would tighten as if unseen hands were choking him, and his health began to deteriorate. Then one morning in 1820, John Bell was found dead. A strange black vial was discovered near his body. The entity's voice rang through the house in eerie celebration. "I gave old Jack Bell a dose last night, and he'll never get up again." The Bell Witch haunting remains one of the most terrifying supernatural events in American history. And even today, locals say her presence lingers in the woods, whispering to those who dare to walk too close.